Hello folks, welcome back to another video. It's me, Tom. This is me from the future. I'm really sorry about the background noise in this video. I was right near a motorway. Yes, I need to get a new microphone, or a microphone, any microphone. Thank you. Got a new bike. You can probably see it over my shoulder, and you've probably seen the thumbnail already. Bit of background. I had my ZZR 1100 for the grand total of I think about 5 months, and it got to the point where I just had enough of trying to get it fixed constantly. Spent quite a lot of money on it, and eventually, about 2 weeks ago, went out for a nice ride with some mates. It was fine, it was perfect. And then the following week, when I tried to go to work on it, it decided to not work again. So I just decided, you know what, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of a bike that no matter how much money I throw at it, will never be happy. It was like an abusive relationship, whereas I was the abused one and the ZZR was abusing me. Probably said the word abuse too many times there, but you get the gist. Anyway, I sold it to a lovely chap called Daryl. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but if you ever do, Daryl, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Daryl has already set about renovating ZZR. The previous owner, Head Race, had already done a lot of work on the engine and put a new exhaust on it and a new radiator and all the rest of it. But Daryl is in the envious position of owning his own body shop, and he has already removed the dent from the tank, and he's going to respray the entire bike, and I'm very excited to see what he does to Big Z when he gets it running again. Anyway, that's enough about the past. Let's talk about the future. And you can probably see my new bike. It's there again, as per usual, just over my shoulder. What is it? Well, it's a BMW F8. Let me start again. BMW F800 ST. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. Anyway, let's just get rid of my grid on this screen, and I'll show you the bike, and I'll talk about some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, because there are many. Let's just go and have a look, shall we? Okay, here she is. It's the BMW F800 ST. It's a very, very handsome bike, I think you will agree. And it's one of the reasons I bought it, because I just thought it looked amazing. I'm going to be honest, before about a week ago, I'd never heard of an F800 or an F800 ST. The only thing I knew about BMW bikes is that wankers, specifically GS wankers, rode them. You know, the kind of bikers who go past on these monstrous BMW things, but they never nod, and they're on a sort of pedestal because they're better than everybody. That is what people think about BMW riders, and I'm now one of them. Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about this thing. Right, so what is it? Well, it's an F800, obviously, but it's a 800cc or 798cc twin cylinder bike. It's quite sporty looking. I'm not going to go into all the usual sort of technical gubbins, A, because I don't know what any of them are, and B, because I just find it incredibly boring. All I'm bothered about is what it looks like and what it feels like to ride, and whether or not I would recommend owning one of these bikes. Right, I've only had this about 2 days, so I can't really give a full owner's, digest on what it's like to live with for a long period of time. What I will tell you though is it works. You press the button, you press the ignition, and it starts, which is more than can be said for my ZZR 1100. Right, some interesting things about this bike, and I said in the intro there are some things I didn't particularly like about it. Now, the first thing I don't like about this bike, which is a ridiculously stupid oversight by BMW, are the indicators. See that there? That's the right hand indicator. See that there? That's the left hand indicator. Yes, the indicators are on opposite, well, they're on the corresponding bar ends. It's just ridiculous, because every other bike in the world, you just have a little sort of notch which you press. Right, mate. So that's cyclists go past. So yeah, you have a little notch that you press left and right, and it's fine. It's on the right handlebar. Here you've got one on either side, and it's so flipping annoying, because you have to remember to press it, then you've got to cancel it with that one. Maybe that's why people who own BMW cars don't use their indicators, because The indicator stalk is like in a really weird place, like between the back seats or something. Obviously, I'm just being an idiot there, but yeah, it's annoying. I've still not got used to it, because when I'm trying to press this indicator here, I keep pressing the horn. Why have you done that, BMW? It's stupid. It's stupid. Every other bike I've ever ridden has one indicator control. This one has two. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional here about that, but it's annoying. Another thing I don't particularly like, don't worry, I will talk about things I do like. Another thing I don't like are these mirrors. They're practically useless. The stalks aren't long enough, so basically you get a view of your own hands in the rear view. I think you can get like extenders that go on here and make them stick out a bit further, which I probably will have to invest in, because yeah, they're pointless as they are. The previous owner had put these big kind of like wind deflector things on here, and I'll show you a video of those in a sec. I'll cut that in here, but that just rendered the mirrors even more useless than they actually already are, because all you could see was the front of the wind deflectors. How they thought that was a good idea, I don't know. I'm aghast. I'm frankly aghast. That's me being aghast. So yeah, mirrors, don't like. Indicators, don't like. Another thing I'm not overly keen on, which is going to sound really weird, is the engine. It sounds like a tractor. Now, this bike's got a really good service history. It's all in spec. It's been fully serviced before I got it from the dealer, and the valves have been done, so there's no issues with the engine. It's just what it sounds like, and from watching other people's videos on these bikes, I can, concur that the description of it sounding agricultural is very appropriate and accurate. And to demonstrate that, I will now start the bike and let you listen to it not so throaty raw. So I do it sweep on the dials there. Hopefully you could hear that. It sounds a little bit like a two-stroke crossed with a tractor. Now, some of the things I do like about this bike, let's move on from the negative. Let's move on to the positive. Well, I've already mentioned I like the look of it. It looks cool. It looks very sporty. I like this sort of 3/4 length fairing that you've got down here. I'm aware I've not showed you the other side of the bike yet, or the front. So there it is from the front. It's got this nice sort of BMW style headlight, it being a BMW and all that. Wonder why they didn't put like a roundel on the front, one of the BMW little circular signs. It's got them on the side though, as you can see. It's got twin discs at the front with Brembo brake calipers, real ones, not fake ones. And that's just a little in-joke for people who saw my last video. It's got this massive big silencer here with two pipes coming out the end of it. What else? Now, a couple of interesting things about this bike. You'll note that there's no fuel cap here on what you would imagine would be the fuel tank. That's because that isn't a fuel tank. Under there is a air filter and a battery and some other bits and pieces. The fuel tank is here. Well, that's not the fuel tank, that's just the fuel cap. The fuel tank is under the seat, I believe, which is an interesting sort of setup. Another interesting thing about this bike is it has a belt. It's got a belt. Like my, I don't know if some people watching this may have seen the other video I did way back, which was about my Kawasaki GPZ 305 belt drive. BMW didn't see the need to write belt drive anywhere on this when they designed it, clearly, but as you can see, it's got a belt. I believe these are like maintenance free. They last for like 40,000 miles. Don't need any adjustment. There's no oil to flick everywhere, so it's a win. Yeah, no issues with it. It's very responsive on the acceleration. Another thing I like is this little dial here. You can just basically twist that and you can adjust the suspension, which is a nice touch. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that is worth saying about this bike, to be honest. This thing on the end, on the back here, some kind of like luggage sort of rack thing. I believe you can get luggage that sits on the side here that goes onto these bars. But this thing comes as standard. It's not like an added extra. It comes on the bike. But when I bought this particular bike, this thing was all corroded. So I swapped it for one that I got from a breaker from another BMW F800. And it was a pig to put on because these screws here were basically welded in. So I had to use a Dremel to cut little grooves in them and then like hammer them to get them out. I'll probably replace them in time, but that's just something I thought I'd point out. The seat is a custom seat done by the previous owner, and I think it looks quite nice apart from these little sort of welts on it. I don't know what's happened there, but it goes well with the bike. And overall, I'm quite impressed with it. Like I say, it does sound a little bit like a tractor, and it sounds like a two-stroke crossover tractor, as I said earlier, but it's very torquey. It's not like it's unlike any bike I've ever really ridden, to be honest. It's hard to really explain in words what it feels like to ride because it just feels really weird, but good. Weird but good. So yeah, that's the F800 ST, as you can see there. Yeah, like I said, I've owned it for 2 days. Hopefully I'll own it longer than other bikes I've had, and it will give me many happy miles of commuting and weekend jaunts through the countryside and dystopian present that is Great Britain. Anyway, there we go. Hopefully you like it. Tell me what you think. Have you got one? Have you ridden one? Are you a GS wanker? If you are, please let me know. But anyway, that's my little sort of blurb on the F800 ST. Thank you for watching. Until next time, with my hand focuses. That's quite a nice picture, that actually, isn't it? Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.